Pleasure of working with your Affinity Place team on the 2018 Home Hardware Canada Cup of Curling. In one word, wow. Diane, Helen, Neil, Devin, Tyler, Pam, Allison, and every member on your staff and on the host committee did a superior job. They worked long hours, kept up to requests, and pulled it all together efficiently, calmly, and perfectly. I will give the ultimate compliment to them. They are top hands. The City of Estevan is a Saskatchewan gem, and Affinity Place couldn't be a better recreational complex. The Power Dodge Curling Centre will have quite a few athletes on the national stage for years to come, because your junior program is that good. I want to recognize the exceptional people I met and their teams. Diane Lem, Events Manager, and the Affinity Place team, thank you for so many assists, from turkeys in the freezer to running a tractor through the kitchen. I'm sure we'll never know that happened.
It's best you don't.
Helen Fornwell, Safety Coordinator, and the host committee team, always ready to help and running with an efficiency to be envied. Devin Fornwell and his host committee team and the curling club, Tyler Mitchell and his host committee team, and some brilliant social media. I'm thinking that's Tyler McMillan. Pam Bishop, the Vermilion Energy Future Stars, was a huge success, along with the multitude of other jobs she worked. Pam worked magic. Allison Holzer and her game day group were brilliant. Arena staff, everyone on the team. Leisure Center and the Visitor Center staff, it was great seeing Saskatchewan products and talking about Riverbend out of Saskatoon. Neil Houston, Event Manager, it's not possible to list his skills or to appreciate a boss more. I could move to Estevan, that is how great it was working there. I miss working with the team, so hope that you will consider a Curling Canada event again. Congratulations with terrific people in a terrific city. As my 4-year-old nephew says, when you really like something, I do it. That's cute. Merry Christmas to you and everyone on your team. Dixie Lawrence, Sponsor Fulfillment Coordinator, Curling Canada. So that is awesome. So please give yourselves a hand of applause. It's a privilege. We'll start handing these out. I've got Tyler, Helen, and Devin. If you would approach the bench, please. Or the front. Right here is good. We usually give it right here in the middle. Yeah. Okay, so Tyler, we'll start with you. Okay, thank you. And Helen, but we can switch up. Here, Devin, you're here. Actually, Tyler. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And Helen? Oh, super. Thank you so much. Oh, a group picture? Okay. Okay. Okay, here we are. Three thorns and a rose.
Rose is on the edge this time.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, appreciate it. Okay, please go ahead. Greg?
Thank you, Your Worship. So my first one, I was fortunate to be a volunteer on this team, and Holly and Zeal Grimsburg, please come forward. 50-50 programs and a bunch of other stuff. Thank you. And then the next one I had is a lady and her husband I used to hang out a lot with in Benson running their curling club. So Lorraine Keating, please come forward.
Robert, I think you helped out with the ice, did you not?
A little bit.
Just a little.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, Shelley?
And I have a certificate of recognition for Robert Keating, Lorraine's husband. Thank you for your help. And Leah Moriarty. Thank you.
We go way back, Robert. Robert, remember when I raced my 74 Vega and you were driving the other car? Robert won.
Did you have to pay?
Anyway, sorry, laugh.
Was that legally racing or Sheila McGilkey. To let you know, all know I'm not a curler, but I went and watched curling a couple times there. You guys did an awesome job, and curling was great.
Thank you.
Beverly Jansen. And you guys want another one next year too, right?
12 months off.
I'm also not a curler, but I got to hang out in the box with Doris Fralick, and so she taught me everything. That was fun. I have Pam the chef. I don't know which one you want to do. There you go, Pam.
Thanks, Thomas.
And Danny Ewan.
I got my official Santa.
Your official Santa hat. Good.
Part of the uniform, right? Gotcha.
I got Ty Olson.
Thanks, Ty.
And Diane Wenham. Do you do anything during the week? Gotcha. Thanks, Diane.
And I have Allison Holzer and Mike Keating. Allison? Thank you very much, and congrats, and put this where everybody can see it, so we know you did a lot of hard work. Okay?
I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Keating? How's it going, Brett?
Good.
Good. Thank you very much, and likewise, put that up in your place of business.
All right.
Again, let's give everyone a round of applause. Thank you so much, everyone, and again, we couldn't have done this without you and all of the other, what was there, over 200 volunteers, so we absolutely appreciate that, and from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you again, and it will allow us to do more in the future with that kind of volunteerism in our community. Now, you're more than welcome to watch a very exciting meeting. You understand if you have other things to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Roy. I just want to say something on behalf of all of us.
Okay.
These are the same volunteers that were on our committee for the tanker. So they're well trained, well educated, and we just want to say thank you again, like I did at our volunteer appreciation, to you, Roy, and the council for allowing us to have the opportunity to work with Canada Cup to bring such a prestigious event to our community. I think the economic spin-off will well outweigh everything else that we had to cancel for that ice during that time. We do know we're going to take a bit of a break and reevaluate because we've been asked by both Curl Canada and Curl SAS to run another event, and we said we kind of need a little bit of a break. And we're pretty energetic to run 2 events in 1 year, so we might just stick to once a year. And well, we just can't thank you guys for all the support and financial support you provided for us to make this a success.
Thank you so much, Dawn.
Thanks.
I would just like to say thank you to the people of Estevan and area for volunteering. Out of our 200 volunteers, there was at least 75% repeat volunteers from the tankard. So it was a wonderful show of support from our community members volunteering for this event. So we were part of the group, but our community volunteers made it happen.
Thank you so much, Pam. And again, a lot of the same faces with the Canada Games. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that's what we're all about. Yeah.
Sketching.
Sorry, I screwed up, but anyway, I'm excited. Anyway, thanks again.
He's still thinking of racing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, moving forward, could we have a motion, please, to adopt the agenda as presented? Thank you, Councillor Boga, second by Councillor Yanish. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And next, minutes. Could we have a motion, please, to accept the council meeting minutes held on December 3rd, 2018? Councillor Yanish, second by Councillor Moore. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have the Southeast Transportation Committee minutes for November 27th. We have a motion for that, please. Councillor Nick, second by Councillor Boga. Councillor Moore, anything to add? Your Worship, not at this moment. It's pretty clear as to what we're trying to get done. And get things in line for the new year, and hopefully we get a fair share of the budget money that's going to be handed out. They've already indicated how much. We just got to get a piece of it for this area, and I think we will. So, yeah, hopefully now that our new Minister of Highways, I'm sure that'll happen. Thank you. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under written reports of committees, we have none this evening. Under executive reports, we have from the Water Treatment Plant Manager, the Water Treatment Plant Chemical Tenders. So, we've got Univar submitted tenders. They didn't meet the guidelines. We'll be switching from the feed potassium permabret this year. For this reason, we tendered a different product than last year. It's 5% more expensive per kilogram, but we use 35% less. So that'll be an overall savings. All low bids within the amounts have been budgeted for 18. Deposits are not included and are returned when the containers are returned. All chemicals are certified. Brenntag acquired Canadian Colors and Chemicals Limited. For this reason, they did not submit a bid. Brenntag and ClearTech came in with the same price per kilogram for chlorine toners. As our tender guidelines, if 2 prices are the same, we have the right to go with the same person. Awarded last year, in this case, ClearTech was awarded the contract last year. There is a slight difference between ClearTech and Brenntag in the final cost for chlorine due to toner rounding calculations. So the tenders, the successful ones are as follows. Order chemical, $72,870, which is $347 per ton. Liquid chlorine, ClearTech, $20,951, 70 cents. Water treatment plant, KMN04, that went to ClearTech, $22,386. Aluminum sulfate for the water treatment plant, that went to Brenntag, $14,595. And hydroglycolic acid, HFS, fluoride, there you go, to keep your teeth white. That went to Brenntag Canada, $10,045.73. What's the wish of council? What's that, City Clerk? Oh, one more? I'm sorry. One more, another page. Brenntag Canada, they were the successful one for the sodium hydroxide solution. Super, and that's $63,121.80. So, we've got the recommendations, go ahead, Councillor Nips.
Acceptance and approval to go ahead with that?
Okay, thank you. Have we got a seconder? Okay. Councillor Travis, any questions? Did you have a question, Councillor Hopper? No, all in favor? Okay, great, thank you. Next, yes, I said Councillor Travis. Councillor Frank, sorry. Executive reports, utility clerk, e-billing incentive. So, go ahead, city manager.
Thank you, Your Worship. With the significant rise in postage costs in the last couple of years, as well as the rolling strikes here, especially when penalties can be applied on a monthly basis, it's becoming very important to try and get the information out to people as soon as possible. We do mail out over 2,000 utility bills bi-monthly, and I believe the postage rate is 87 cents or something. So this started to be a significant cost, and if we could entice anybody to sign up for e-billing and pre-authorized payments, it would really make that department a little more efficient in getting everybody the information and reducing the cost of our postage. So the option here is to get people signed up for electronic billing first of all, and we're looking to do one draw a quarter, so that'd be 4 draws over the next year, and you get a $250 credit to your utility bill. And also we'd like to do 2 draws for people that sign up for pre-authorized payments. So this means that the automatic amount of your utility bill comes out of your account, so we're not having to deal with penalties or tracking down payments, and a lot of people might like this option because it just out of sight, out of mind a little bit. So we'd like to do 2 draws for that for an iPad with equal value of $500. So just looking at some ways to change our billing practices and save some money, so we'd like council's input on that.
Thank you, city manager. Councillor Frank, then Councillor Brogan.
I really like the idea, and obviously this is where a lot of groups go. I was at SaskTel a few years ago, the last time there was Canada Post strikes, and they did similar things. I just wanted, just so that people watching at home, what are the ways they can sign up for e-bill?
We'd recommend that they get in touch with our utility clerk downstairs and at the main office number of 634-1800.
Is there a way we can add this to our website? Or is this
Yes, let me just confirm. I believe there is a form on there, but I'll go on there and confirm it.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a good point. Councillor Frank will try to get that through Becky's good graces onto the website. Councillor Groba, then Councillor Nips and Councillor Hopper. Wow, lots of interest. Then Councillor Yanish.
Perfect, thank you, Your Worship. I like this idea. I was just wondering though, if someone was to get, say, sign up for electronic billing, and at the end of the year needed to have a printout of all of their invoices, is that still available, or would there be a cost to that?
City manager.
Thank you, Councilor Brogan. Unless it falls under administration bylaw, and that's out for first reading right now, but really they would, if they came in to get a copy of the printed things, we wouldn't be mailing them out with the postage cost, so I think those would be provided.
Okay, yeah, like they could get, like just think for some of the home-based business, could they just come in and just get a yearly annual amount, this is what I paid out this month?
I would think that wouldn't be an issue, Councilor Brogan, but we'll look into it and make sure.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think it would help them to facilitate that. Councillor
Yeah,
Brogan.
thank you.
Absolutely. Councillor Nips.
I think this is a great idea. I didn't even know it existed. I'm kind of embarrassed that I have the pre-authorized debit pay thing, but I didn't know this isn't even an option, so I think it's important to get it. Is this something when we sending out the bills, can we make that really big to sign up for e-bill on there?
Yes, Councilor Nibbs, we've been doing this in our tax notices before with our TIPS program, and we'll be doing the same in our utility bill to make sure that people are aware of it and how to get registered for it.
Even bigger, because I didn't see it.
Okay.
Okay. Then Councillor Hopper, then Councillor Yanish, and then Councillor Miller.
Thank you, Your Worship. Councillor Nibbs stole my idea there.
Your thunder?
I'll give him credit for it.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Hopper. Councillor Yanish.
Thank you, Your Worship. To City Manager, Mr. Ward, is there some way we can look at making the sign up easier? I know, I think it's a great idea too, because I'm a little forgetful sometimes and forget hours. But if I remember correctly, it's print out a form, sign the form, and get the form in, where everybody else is going, fill it out online and submit it online. Because it's, to me, printing out a form, filling it and sending it, it's a pain in the butt. And you're trying to stop the use of paper and all the postage and all that stuff. So if there is some way we can look at having them fill it out online, because everybody else allows it online.
Good point.
Thank you, Councilor Yanish. We'll look into that. I know there is some issues with LA FOIP on how municipalities collect and have information they've received. So I think we'll look into that, and as long as that falls within those guidelines, we can move forward. I know emailing in bank account information for pre-authorized payments is probably opens yourself up to some risk. But as regards to the utility billing, we could probably do that, but we'll talk to the city clerk and utilities and see what we can do.
Okay, good idea. Councillor Moore? Oh, then Councillor Brown? Councillor Moore?
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and not only the cost savings, but the safety aspect of it all. My mother's 94 years old, and if we can keep her from having to go out every month to pay the water bill, the coax bill, the telephone bill, it's just one more thing that makes a safety life for her, especially in the wintertime. So it sometimes takes a little convincing to the older people to sign up because it's something new. So if a person's a good salesman, they can usually see their way around. So I would put the onus on the kids, especially the elderly, and just to prove to them this is a good thing. And they can watch by their account what it was, and if there's questions, they can always question this. So I think it's a really good idea. So we should really promote it.
Thank you, Councillor Moore. Councillor Brown?
Thank you, Worship. I was just thinking, so when you sign up for the electronic billing, some places allow you to sign up and put it on your credit card. We do not do that, or do we allow that?
We generally don't allow credit card purchases unless it's in person, but we will look into it a little bit because we require a signing authorization under our protocol that we have right now. So.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I know like power and all that, you can put all your utilities on your MasterCard bill and rack up those air miles. But the other thing is, so at Signer, some people, when you ask, say, for example, SaskTel, if you give them permission to take your bill out, they can't go take your mobility bill out. It's two separate things. So I just want to clarify for people that if you give the city the permission to take out for the water bill, you are not giving the city permission to take out your taxes. Just because sometimes people believe that if they give you permission to take one, you've given them open permission to take all monies owed. And that would not be the case here. It would just be the water money.
Correct, Councilor Brogan, but there is a separate program for property taxes. It's called TIPS, and we do require you to come in and talk to our tax assessor, Trina Seaman, to sign up.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, all good questions, guys. Have we got a motion then to move forward? Okay, thank you. Councillor Brogan, seconded by Councillor Yanish. Any further questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, we have from the building inspector, the building permit report for November 2018. Could we have a motion, please, to accept that? Councillor Nibs, seconded by Councillor Moore. Any questions? If not, all in favor? Carried. Next, we have from Land Development, discretionary use of 1306 7th Street. The proposed use is a massage studio. The proposal is to locate a massage studio at an existing multi-bay building at 1306 7th Street. The proposed use fits with professional offices, which is a discretionary use in the subject zoning district. The property is serviced and has sufficient parking. The applicant originally applied as a home-based business with the massage service being a mobile unit. This was followed a few weeks later with a proposal for a storefront business. Land use issues, none. Recommendation from Land Development that they recommend approval of this proposed business subject to standard conditions, which would include ongoing compliance with the city's massage parlor bylaw. So there you have it, Councillor Brogan.
Thank you, Your Worship. I read in here, Richard, that the owner was a registered massage therapist, but then when you and I were speaking, it was more of a natural massage therapist business. So I think there's a difference between registered massage therapist and someone who practices in a form of natural massage, which I think is both great forms. I just wanted to clarify that because I know I've gone to a reflexologist before and they offer a great service. I'm totally in favor of this business and I think it's a great, so I just wanted to clarify that though because in the report it says registered.
Okay. Your Worship, I have two documents here that were provided. And when this individual applied for the home-based business, this is run by EPS as well. The one document is, as Councilor Verova says, Natural Health Practitioners of Canada. It's a membership that she's in good standing. And the other one is a diploma for Remedial Massage Therapy Diploma. I am not 100% familiar with what it is. It's from the Western College of Remedial Massage Therapies Incorporated. So based on that, EPS having no concerns, we felt that this was okay. If a permit's issued, it definitely would include a condition of maintaining compliance with all other city bylaws, including the
All
police's.
applicable bylaws, exactly.
Yeah.
So I would, I would basically make the recommendation to allow her to.
Okay, you'll make that motion? Okay, thank you, Councillor Grover. We got a seconder? Councillor Nick, any further questions? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, under introduction of bylaws, we have none this evening. Public hearings and reports, we have none this evening. Giving notice, we have none. Motions from committee, we have none. Consideration of bylaws. Bylaw 2018-2009 property maintenance bylaw. This evening we'll give second and third reading. Before we do, City Clerk, have we had any concerns?
Your Worship, we have had a couple of people do inquiries in specific areas. One of them was clarification on the maintenance of alleys, and that was answered to their satisfaction. And then there was also a suggestion, suggest that we condense a version of this and put it into utility bills. So I do know that in talking with the bylaw enforcement officer that that was one of her programs that she was going to actually do that. Probably like a half-page item that will go into the utility bills so people understand condensed version of the property maintenance. But that will happen after you've approved the bylaw.
Okay, thank you, City Clerk. Any further questions? Councillor Hopper?
Just, Your Worship, were we able to satisfactorily alleviate the concern about the back alley maintenance, or was it a concern, or just a comment?
Councillor Hopper, yes, it was. There was, it was about if we were still going to maintain the back alleys, or if under this bylaw they had the understanding that we would no longer do that, and that's not correct. We will still maintain.
No specific concerns with the bylaw then?
Yeah, I think, Councillor Hopper, what they were referring to is if in your backyard you have trees that hang over and obstruct into the back alley, then you're responsible for keeping that pathway clear. Yeah.
To be clear, Your Worship, I don't have a background.
Okay, well then you're off the hook. Then you're off the hook. He's a little bit sensitive this evening. There's a quote for Shakespeare on that, but I won't go there. Anyway, any further questions? Councillor Moore.
Thank you, Worship. Having read most of this, is there anything in there that says that we should have a given time to clean up a place that's, for instance, caught fire? Why do we have to wait so long and leave the neighbors in the area in a bit of a turmoil for such a period of time? And so was there anything in there that covered that?
Well, you make a good point, Councillor Moore. We're working very diligently on that issue. And if we have to, we want to put teeth in the bylaw that will enable us to get that property under control.
Okay, so at the moment, what would be holding us back? Who's holding us back?
Well, we're actually still in discussions with the police chief and our building inspector to make sure we have the wherewithal, because of course these days, unless you have it in writing and in the right place in the bylaw and it's proven, that's the other thing. In most cases, we wait for other cities to have it proven by the court of law so that we don't have to go through that. Okay. So all of those points are being covered as we speak, and we're hoping to take care of that property within the next month or two.
I guess we can assure the public that it won't take 8 years.
No, well, that was very unfortunate, and as you know, there was some circumstances surrounding that did finally get done, and we appreciate everyone that helped in that, so yes. I'm pretty sure that we can say that.
It'd be nice if we can set a new timetable and move on, because I really don't think it's fair to those folks that got to put up with that every day and wonder why are we dragging our feet, which we're not dragging our feet. No. We have laws and orders to do so. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for bringing that forward. So we have proposed bylaw 2018-2010, being a bylaw in the city of Estevan in the province of Saskatchewan to establish, charge, and collect rate charges, rents, deposits applicable to the provisions of utility services by the city of Estevan. Do we have a motion for second reading, please? Thank you, Councillor Yanish, seconded by Councillor Moore. Any questions, this being the second motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Could I have third motion, please, for proposed bylaw 2018-2010, being a bylaw in the city of Estevan in the province of Saskatchewan to establish, charge, and collect rate charges, rents, and deposits applicable to the provisions of utility services by the city of Estevan and adoption for use. Thank you, Councillor Brova, Councillor Nids, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, this evening, we have bylaw 2018-2010, the solid waste rates, which have been reviewed and have been given first reading. City Clerk, have you got any feedback on that before we give second and third reading?
Nothing, Your Worship.
Nothing? Okay, thank you for that. Any questions from council before we move forward? If not, could we have a motion, please, for the second reading of bylaw 2018-2010, waste bylaw, waste rates? Thank you, Councillor Hofford, seconded by Councillor Yanish. Any questions? This being second reading. If not, all in favor? Thank you. So next we'll have third reading for bylaw 2018-2010, solid waste rates. Third reading and adoption for use. Have we got the motion for third reading, please? Thank you. Councillor Frank, seconded by Councillor Moore. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, we have bylaw 2018-2011, administrative fees for service. We plan on giving second and third reading this evening. City Clerk, could we have any feedback after first reading?
Nothing, Your Worship.
Nothing? Okay, thank you. So I'll ask for second motion for bylaw 2018-2011, administrative fees for service. Councillor Hofford, seconded by Councillor Nibbs. Any questions? If not, all in favor? Thank you. Next, I'll ask for third reading of bylaw 2018-2011, administrative fees for service for third reading and adoption for use. Councillor Moore, seconded by Councillor Brova. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next this evening, we have inquiries. Councillor Hoffman.
Thank you, Your Worship. As we were going through the building inspector's report, I was wondering, now at the end of the year, if we could get some information maybe for the January meeting after the close of this year, how our building permits compare, maybe for the last 3 or 4 years where our totals have been.
Okay. We can get those numbers for you.
And also, I just wanted to advise the public of yet another wonderful event that's going on in our community. It started last night, the Festival of Lights in Woodlawn Regional Park. We had amazing fireworks in the park last night at 6 o'clock, and following the conclusion of that, the lights immediately went on. Last year, the Festival of Lights was very well received with the 12 sites that entered and decorated, and this year there's 30 or more, so just encourage everyone to get down there. It's really wonderful to see. The lights are on from 5 until 10 every night, and I find it best when it gets dark. It's a little more magnificent in the dark than it is in the dusk here, just when it's still a little bit light out. So credit to Woodlawn Regional Park for yet another great event, and a special shout out to our manager, Maureen Douse, Larry Preddy, and Myron Douse have been spending an enormous amount of time down there pulling this event off, and to all the businesses and community groups that have the site. It's really something to see, and it's really nice to see such great participation from the city. The city public works crew have an amazing site down there. The police department have teamed up with the RCMP for a great site, and the fire department display you really have to see, and it's a lot of super things going on in Woodlawn Regional Park. It's open until the 31st each night, and so encourage the community to get down there, take a look.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Councillor Hopper. And thank you for your hard works and efforts, everyone on the board and all of the employees. You've done a fantastic job, and we'd also like to thank all of the people that have sponsored and done all of the hard work putting up these different venues. Looks tremendous. Thank you so much for that. Councillor Grova?
Thank you, Your Worship. I was just wondering, I had a lady ask me when she goes for walks, sometimes she finds some of the larger condo apartment buildings, they're responsible for the snow removal on all sides of their apartments. So if there's a sidewalk on two sides of their condo building, or that condo or apartment building would be responsible for all sides.
Yeah, usually that would be part of their maintenance fees that they pay as part of a condo building. Now, the actual route, what would be cleaned would be up to the president of that condo association. So,
But if those are city sidewalks
well,
that
then
are outside of those condos,
those would be
condo-
expected to
the
be
condo
cleaned.
itself would be expected to clean
Yes,
all sides. Okay,
That is
that's
correct.
what I thought. I just wanted to clarify. I did tell the woman that, and she's going to contact me if they don't clean them this year.
okay,
So
thank you.
just to make sure.
Yeah, it's the same as your given house, you're expected to clean the
Yeah.
sidewalk in front of your house.
I assumed
And I
it
know
was.
there's some that don't, but that is expected.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Yanish?
Thank you, Your Worship. I have a couple inquiries. First thing first to City Manager. Do we have a debit machine at the landfill with our tipping fees going up? I know not everybody carries cash. We do have, okay, cool. I just wasn't sure. Second thing is, I'd like to thank the mayor for giving me the opportunity to represent the city at the CP Rail Holiday Train yesterday. The weather was awesome. We had a great turnout, over about 1,000 people. And it was very enjoyable, a good band, the weather was perfect, and then off to the Festival of Lights after. So the city is busy, very proud of the turnout everybody has done for the last few major events, and look forward to seeing what else we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Councillor Yanish, and thank you for attending on my behalf. Yeah, that's always a great event and a good band and good turnout, and I know the Salvation Army gets lots of cans of goods, which I'm sure you bought a bag or two yourself.
Yes, I did. The other good thing about it was on a Sunday for a change, and it wasn't in the middle of the week where you couldn't get many people, so that was the great thing.
Yeah, the issue we had in the past was getting the school kids out, which they love, but sometimes if they can't get away from school, it's unfortunate, but, yeah. Thank you. Councillor Frank?
I have nothing, Your Worship. I'll just wish the citizens of Estevan a Merry Christmas.
Oh, great. Thank you. Councillor Nitz?
Nothing, Worship, but also Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you. Councillor Moore?
Thank you, Your Worship. I just want to express the gratitude to the folks that come and worked with us on the number 66 Rotary Carol Festival at the United Church last night with Reverend Jason Richards. And I've attended a lot of them. And last night was probably one of the highlighted one that caused a lot of good excitement. Kids, 3-year-old girl playing a piano. The talent that we have in this area is unbelievable. And the fact that we have newcomers in the city that put together a group and the Filipinos and come and put a display on. Not in their language, in our language. And what a night. It was just a real thrill to see so many people interested in music. And we had a lot of group singing, and I think everybody walked out of there feeling a really, really festive mood, because it was a great night, and there was so much going on, and we still had a good attendance. So I really thank everybody that helped put that together. And we will continue to do it because it's a big part of the Christmas spirit. So
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that, Councillor Moore. And I'm sorry I couldn't attend. I was at a birthday party for one of my grandbabies in Regina. But thank you for being there, and we thank all the Rotary members. I know City Manager is a member, Councillor Hopper, myself, and that is a great event. And we'd like to thank everyone that worked so hard to make that happen.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you. City Manager?
Nothing, Your Worship.
City Clerk?
Nothing, Your Worship.
City Treasurer?
Nothing, Your Worship.
Okay, well, on behalf of council, I think I can safely say for everyone, as has been mentioned a few times, this is our last meeting this year. We wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and all the very best in the next year. And for those I offend about Christmas, I guess I should say happy holiday seasons, whatever turns your crank. But just have a great time and all the best in the new year. And I guess I did have an inquiry, and maybe council members can help me. Lucille Warner had a question. She said, now that STC doesn't run, she said, how do I get to Regina? How do the elderly get to Regina? She heard there was a transportation company out of Mydale, but then she heard they didn't make it. They're no longer in existence. Councillor Grova?
Thank you, Your Worship. I actually just the other day heard that there is another gentleman that is actually inquiring. I happened to be at Chamber of Commerce when he came in, and he's looking forward to creating another transit for that. So because I'm manager of Creighton Lodge, I was talking to him and telling him that yes, there is a need for that in the city. There is also, through the home care program, I don't know if they only do volunteers with just the home care clients or they offer it to other people, but if it's someone who's in need, I think if they contacted the Estevan Home Care Office, they could maybe help them find a volunteer.
Okay.
And I think also there's probably churches, organizations, stuff like that that would also help out with volunteers until such time this gentleman gets his business up and running. But I believe he was going to do the charter service and also maybe parcel packages.
Okay, awesome, because yeah, that need would be needed all the way out to the Manitoba border for sure.
Yeah, and I think the other company was up and running, but due to their own personal issues, they had to shut the business down, so.
Okay. Now, SMILE, who's on the SMILE board? Councillor Yanish, I think they'll go take patients to Regina. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's not an emergency,
Yes,
on a
they do.
planned outing once in a while, or?
You'd have to phone
Phone
for
Art?
doctors and phone Art, and he'd be able to tell you yes or no if they could or not.
Okay, good. Okay, well, thank you for that. And with that, have we got a motion to adjourn and go into committee? Thank you. Councillor Yanish, seconded. Councillor Frank, all in favor? Carried. Thank you so much. We stand closed. Adjourn.